Today in the garage we have this 2009 Hyundai Sonata and the AC has stopped working. I hooked the gauges up to it. It's reading full of coolant. When you rev it up, the low side spikes, and I only looked at the low side gauge up until this point before I evacuated the coolant. So we're going to throw some parts at it instead of doing proper diagnosis, and there's probably a clog in the system somewhere. The desiccant bag was like 10-20 bucks, something like that, and that's a pretty common thing to go out. The desiccant bag is as far as I understand, like a sack of like silicone to remove moisture from the system, and equivalent to like a receiver dryer. So we're gonna run through that. The Hyundai manual type stuff says you have to remove the AC condenser to get to the desiccant bag. So I guess that's on the side of the condenser on this side. The cap's from underneath. A couple of people on the forums were saying that you can just lift up the car and get to the cap from the bottom without removing the condenser. So that's the path we're going to try to take. Let's get started, see how it goes. Now I'm not going to walk through each individual step, but a basic overview to get the radiator out is kind of just remove the intake. These three plastic retaining clips unscrew, pop out. The intake hose unclips. Remove the AC fans, which is easy enough without removing the entire radiator. And then we're going to try to rock the radiator back, rock the condenser back, so we can get to the desiccant element from underneath. Hopefully that'll do it, but worst case scenario, we wind up following the manufacturer procedure and just removing the entire thing to get to the dryer element. Alright, now we got all that stuff out, so we can rock the radiator back and over and hopefully get it to a point where we can get our desiccant bag out from underneath. You can see it, but I'm having trouble keeping the radiator pushed forward enough. It's pushing against this radiator hose. So we're going to see if we can't prop a 2x4 in there and give us the space that we need to work. Oh, 2x4s. They're my favorite piece of wood. Use them for literally everything. 1 2x4. Oh no, we're dropping my wood. I think that'll do it. Let's take a look from underneath and see what we got. All right, here we are underneath the vehicle with the skid removed, and you can see this is the cap for our lovely desiccant bag. So let's pry that bad boy out. We'll make some notes here now that we got the desiccant element out. Uses a 10mm Allen wrench. A lot of people were saying this gets stripped out easy, but if you use the long wrench, you put it in there, it's like that thing goes in there a long way. So if you're using one of the short stubby Allen bits, you really need something with full area engagement. The desiccant kit comes with a new plug O-ring, so we'll just put this on, feed this in there. Desiccant element, this one looks pretty worn out, it's stuffed with oil, and you can tell it's swollen, and you can pretty much just feel the moisture when you squeeze it, that the silicon pellets inside it are saturated. So we got our new desiccant element here. It's vacuum sealed and isn't swollen, because the second we open this, which is pretty humid in here, it's going to start absorbing moisture in the air. So you want to get this thing installed pretty much as soon as you can, put the plug back in and seal up the system. So that's what we're going to do. Now, these Hondas, I've been surprised. Like, this car is in excellent condition. It has 180,000 miles on it. All the rubber is still fine. I'm sure it won't be for long. It's all easy to work on. And I've used a Phillips screwdriver, a 10mm 1/4" drive deep well socket, and a 10mm 3/8 drive Allen bit. I've used 3 tools for this entire job. So easy to work on. Uses all, no crazy intermix of fastener types. Like, I give Korean cars a lot of crap, but this thing's not bad. I don't mind working on it.